Gavin Newsom never ceases to amaze me. He is such a slimy politician. On his current rebranding tour that he's going on, he is now throwing the Democrats under the bus and painting them in a negative light and saying that the Democratic brand is toxic and are in their own echo chamber.
California Governor Gavin Newsom puts on record that the Democrats are toxic. But don't let me tell you all. Check it out for yourselves.
And we had some controversial figures on, I'll acknowledge that, and Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and some others. But you're right. I mean, this idea that we can't even have a conversation with the other side.
You have to. They won.
Thank you. Or the notion we just have to continue to talk to ourselves or we're in the same damn echo chamber. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now.
Bro, you are the Democratic brand. You are the biggest spearhead for all of the woke policies. You are the person who changed the Democratic Party and made it to what it is today. I am just so shocked that now he is backpedaling, and I get it. We all know he's trying to be president. How can you spend the last, however many years pushing and advocating for all of these policies, and everyone knows how California has just gone downhill. Now you're going to pretend like you're a moderate? Nobody's believing it, Gavin. Nobody's believing. You're just pissing off your own party now. It's too late. You're better off doubling down and going for it and staying true to who you are and what you believe or what your party believes and run on that rather than trying to rebrand this whole thing and create a new Democratic Party, I guess, is what he's trying to do, and kind of separate himself. Like, it's never going to happen.
So I love the way she put that because it was very eloquent. What we're going to get down to, you guys, is the nitty gritty. It's your girl Jada on another episode of Conservative Black Girls. Let's go. Okay, guys, so Gavin Newsom is trying to rebrand himself. He's going on these podcasts, he's doing things, he's trying to distance himself from the far left, and most people just don't seem to be buying it. I don't think that they are, but let's see what some people from his own party think.
Gavin Newsom now represents the absolute worst of politics.
It's really been interesting, the reaction to the podcast. I mean, we had some controversial figures on, I'll acknowledge that, and Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and some others. But you're right. I mean, this idea that we can't even have a conversation with the other side.
You have to. They won.
Thank you. That's it, the bottom line. And by the way, or the notion we just have to continue to talk to ourselves or we're in the same damn echo chamber. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now. We had a high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not.
And there you have it. That's why Gavin Newsom has abandoned the Democrat Party. He believes that the Democrat Party is toxic because we have low approval ratings for our Democrat Party right now. But the reason we have low approval ratings for the Democrat Party is because the Democrat Party is pissed at spineless cowards like Gavin Newsom, who refuse to have a backbone and stand up to Donald Trump and the fascist right-wing dictatorship that's rising in this country.
Okay, so the reason you have low approval ratings is because you all are what? Okay, this is exactly why the Democratic Party lost. I don't know how much more Democrats can be overly aggressive. I mean, at this point, you guys are burning down Teslas. You're extremely violent. Most of what I've seen is Democrats calling for violence. And for this guy here to talk about, oh, the reason we're losing is because of spineless people like Gavin Newsom. Sir, did you not see that Republican Donald Trump, our new president, got the popular vote? Democrats are losing because you all are delusional and you just don't get it. I'm just gonna let this guy continue to speak because essentially he's throwing himself under the bus.
That is why the approval is so low. What Gavin Newsom has done is he's shown that he was willing now to sell out all of his values and the things that were important to him. him because he so badly just wants to be the president one day. And that is the problem with politics and the politicians who are in there now. When you look at MAGA Republicans, so many of them know what Donald Trump is doing is absolutely wrong, but they're willing to sell this country out and sell the American people out to stay in power. And that's what Gavin Newsom is doing right now. He thinks his ticket into the White House in 4 years is to court the fascists, to court the MAGA. But in doing so, he's abandoning his core values, abandoning the Democrat Party, and attacking the people who made him who he is. This is not going to be the path to save the Democrat Party, and I can guarantee you, he is not going to get the love and the approval in the primaries when he tries to run for these people after he's gone down and he's kissed the Charlie Kirks and Steve Bannons and Donald Trump. At this point, Gavin Newsom really is no different than MAGA. In fact, he is embracing MAGA. It is more important for Gavin Newsom to have the political future he imagined and wants than it is to stick up for the values of American people. And that is the exact problem with the Democrat Party. We lack the spine and the fortitude to fight strongly and firmly against Donald Trump and the rise of fascism in America. Fascism won't be beaten off in this country by people like Gavin Newsom bending and taking a knee to it. And that's what it is. Throw me a follow. Very disappointed in you, Gavin.
Okay, you all, this person is very funny. He's hilarious. And I'm just going to say, he's so out of touch. He called Gavin Newsom MAGA. He just said that Gavin Newsom might as well be a part of the Trump administration. Let me know down in the comments. I'm not going to take that video back, you all, but basically he's saying that Gavin Newsom has sold out his values, whatever that is, considering that he's a far leftist, not many values at all. But we're going to act as though Gavin Newsom actually have true American values. Okay, we're done acting. The Democratic Party is out of control. That's just the long and short of it. Obviously, Democrats are all over the place. And guess what? Republicans are here for it. Conservatives are here for it. And most importantly, our people are here for it because this is going to be good.
So Gavin Newsom as a candidate in 2028, I said I could solve this in 2 words and be done, which is no. I don't think Gavin Newsom is it for the Democrats in 2028. He's not what the party needs. I've said 2 things that I think are important outside of what you've accomplished at your other positions. You need a fighter and you need somebody who's authentic. Gavin Newsom is not a fighter. He's more Obama, Bill Clinton. I understand where you're coming from. I see it. We can reach an agreement. That's not what the Democrats need right now. And I'm not sure he's authentic. And I would have said all this about him before the podcast with Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon. But Gavin Newsom has been for a long time a voice for the progressive movement. And I'll always I could listen to Gavin Newsom talk all day. He's a very eloquent speaker. Love listening to him talk about policy. And I'll always have respect for the role he's played in a lot of progressive movements with gay marriage and trying to make housing more affordable in San Francisco and California. But he's now, with his podcast and the Invisible Primary, and you have Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon on there. You're not going to win over the Republicans. You're not going to win over MAGA. You're not going to win over the undecideds or the people who are apathetic and don't vote by being a centrist. You've been a career progressive, and now you're trying to be more in the centrist part of it. Again, I just don't think that's what the Democrats need, and that's not Gavin Newsom. He's not a centrist, but he's try and run in 28. He's appearing to do that. And also, my wife and I call him the woker. He looks like, he's an attractive man. He looks like
my wife and I call him the woker. Wow. Okay, so you have this Democrat, and I don't know where he is on the spectrum. Let me know down in the comments where you think he lies on the Democratic spectrum, because I don't know. These days, I meet so many extremists. It's very hard to find just a moderate Democrat. Somebody who's kind of, normal, not out of their mind, not extremist, but I digress. This guy just called Gavin Newsom a woker. Can we take that back?
Also, my wife and I call him the woker. He looks like, he's an attractive man. He could be he looks like a Gotham City villain. And I think my wife, who is a reformed Republican, we got together in 2011, and it took until 2016 for me to finally make her see the good side and come over to the Democrats. I said she didn't like Josh Shapiro. That's not really what she said, but she thinks the same issue Josh Shapiro has is one Gavin Newsom will have, which is that they're slick looking, I guess, for, lack of a better word. They're well put together. They're educated. They speak eloquently. They are what you would think the typical Democrat elitist, and that doesn't really, I don't know that it's going to play well with the middle, the undecideds, or just the Democratic Party now in general. And again, it's not his fault that he sounds eloquent, but he's not a fighter. Josh Shapiro, I would say, is a fighter more than Gavin Newsom, but I just don't think there's a broad appeal there right now for Gavin Newsom. And again, I think he's trying to be a centrist, and I don't understand why that's not you. You have a whole career showing that's not you. And I think I said this, his governorship has been more about what he hasn't done. And look, I think California is a very tough state to be a governor in. You're managing the 7th largest economy in the world. You have an incredibly diverse population. You have LA and San Francisco and Silicon Valley and, great wealth, but you also have great poverty. You have, not coastal California, the central part, the inland part, and you have some extreme poverty. You have a lot of different ethnic groups. I think it's a tough state to govern. And again, they tried to recall him and it failed. But you look at, again, what he hasn't done. He had a chance to cap insulin. He didn't. He has not made housing more affordable overall in the state. Again, LA and San Francisco, some of the highest cost of living in the United States. And he hasn't helped there. And it's caused people to move out of California and lose population. They still don't have a high speed, the rail system that they talked about. So it's been a lot of what he hasn't done. And again, I don't put that all on him because I think it's just tough. Again, Reagan, who's, beloved by the GOP, he was not well thought of as a governor of California. So I just think it's a tough situation to be in. But again, at the end of the day, it's more about what he hasn't done as governor. So, and I think that goes to a bigger problem. My wife and I were talking about this last night, this morning. And this is a problem at the state level. This is a problem at the federal level. You can pass good legislation and affect change, but it takes too long to go into action. Again, the high-speed rail thing in California, they were talking about when Jerry Brown was the governor, and it's still not done. Again, how many times do you see a policy passed or a bill passed or something like that, and you don't see the effect of it? You need 8 years to see the effect of it. Again, I'll go back to an example in Louisiana. Our governor, John Bel Edwards, there was a 5-year process to bring a Hyundai plant to our state, and he's out of office, and now the governor and Donald Trump are taking credit for it. You've been in office for 60 days. You put that together? All the permits, so I think that's a problem that I wish the Democrats could figure out how, and I'm going to talk about somebody Wednesday who figured it out, but how can you get things done quicker? How can it should not take, a term for a president or 2 terms to get these things done. Again, Joe Biden did a great thing expanding broadband internet access, but at the end of 4 years, if only 1,000 people had more broadband, why does it take so long? How do you solve that problem? And I think that's a big issue that Democrats hopefully are working to figure out. Again, we talked about some of these governors that have enacted a lot of change and affected change. So how can you do that at a national level? How can you make it not just be such a drawn out process to actually implement change?
Speaking of drawn out, this guy's a snooze fest. Anyway, it's rare. I have to give it to him. I have to give it to this Democrat, okay? He is actually trying to hold Governor Gavin Newsom accountable. He's trying to hold Governor Gavin Newsom accountable. And it's bad, guys. It's bad when you have the Democrats saying, what have you done for us lately? Okay, this is the party who just votes left just to vote left. Oh, I'm a Democrat. I'm going to vote for the left. I'm not going to vote for the right. I'm just not doing it. I'm going to vote for the left. Hence the 92%. Shout out to the 92%, right? We're going to continue to just be okay with you sliding on over to the left for now. Okay? Hopefully you come on the right side of things. Hopefully you choose what's right for you and your family. And that is indeed the right side of things, if you know what I mean. Okay. Oh, listen. All right. I am woman enough to admit it. I'm woman enough to admit it. This Democrat is kind of making a little bit of sense. Okay? He's making a little bit of sense. He's saying some things where at least it sounds like he can have a conversation about things that he disagrees with, which is a huge step for the Democrats of today. A huge step. Okay? So shout out to him for actually bringing about a few points that make sense. And ironically, it's against a Democratic leader. And that's how you know. Okay, that is how you know that Governor Gavin Newsom is so fake. He's so fake, y'all. Not even his own people are buying it. Let's check out what else they have to say. This is sad.
Where are the leaders? Where are the leaders? The country is teetering on the brink of destruction. Trump and Musk are attacking every foundation of American democracy. Musk is out in Wisconsin trying to buy votes, literally. Trump is attacking every part of the judiciary. He calls a perfectly normal and rational judge a left-wing lunatic. We have smashed connections with our closest allies. The folks from ICE are acting like agents from Iran or North Korea or Russia. They swoop down on people walking in the street, whisk them off to unknown locations. This is not America. And so I ask, where are the leaders? Where's Obama? Where's George W. Bush? Where's Mitt Romney? Where's Kamala? Hillary Clinton is trying. She's making appearances on TV shows. She's writing some op-eds. Where are the rest of them? Where are they? Trump is not normal. They can't act normal. These are not normal times. We are teetering. They have to act before it's too late. I have friends who are literally leaving the country. Where are the leaders? Where?
Bye-bye. Leave the country. Yes, that's exactly what we want. We want the radical leftists to leave the country. Okay? Yes, Trump is not normal. He is extraordinary. He's great because he's making America great again. No, seriously, for real. Where are the leaders? Right? Democrats might be begging the question, where are the leaders? Like this poor man, oh no, he's looking for the leaders of his party. Why don't you do it? Why don't you associate yourself with people who are destroying Tesla vehicles, okay? Who are destroying privately owned vehicles, because that doesn't hurt anyone but the person that privately owns that vehicle. Why don't you become a leader of a people that believe that men should compete in women's sports? Like, do you have any daughters? Do you have a mother that you love? Do you have any females? And I'm not talking about men that identify as women. I'm talking about women, born women. So while you're out here making a call to leaders, and it sounds like you're making a call to try to have some type of ruckus, as if Democrats aren't starting enough trouble already, just understand that some of these politicians outside of the gross Tim Walz actually don't want to be associated with the type of violence that the Democratic Party is portraying these days. It's time for you all to really figure it out and get over yourselves.
If you're a Democrat, I'm going to tell you the worst thing that you could do right now. Speak for that goddamn party. Okay? That party's brand is in such disarray. They have no ideology. The people that are actually governing, like the Josh Shapiros, the Gretchen Whitners, the Wes Moores, y'all stay in y'all states and keep governing and doing the work.
That's it.
Distance yourself from all of that shit that's going on in D.C. Distance yourself from the party and speak for you.
That's it.
That's what I love what Josh Shapiro was doing on Friday.
Yo.
He didn't speak for the party. He was like, let me tell you what I did.
Yeah,
in
for my people.
Yes.
And then what will happen is we'll see you doing that for your people, and then we'll start going, I wouldn't mind if he did that for me.
Listen, I think, first of all, I like Josh Shapiro a lot. I think he would be a great candidate for 2028, but this is my only problem. My only problem with the Democratic Party is that even the people that are good, the brand of being a Democrat is so bad.
Yeah, you got to rebrand that.
They shit up.
It's not just Gavin Newsom that knows Democrats are toxic, guys. Okay, it's becoming a real thing. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me know down in the comments if you've been outside of the country recently, like my sister, and you basically realize, wow, Democrats are known for being a radical group around the world. Like, seriously, let me know down in the comments if you've been out of town and you've talked to people who are from different backgrounds and you've engaged with them and you've had conversation with people that you disagree with. And I'm definitely speaking to the conservatives because we know Democrats don't speak to people that they don't agree with. We know Democrats are not trying to hear any opinions that don't align with their own. So conservatives, my people, the Republicans, let me know down in the comments how you feel about that. Even Charlemagne, this guy is saying the Democrats, right? The Democrat brand, right? He no longer wants to be associated with the Democrats, although he was pushing hard for Kamala Harris, pushing so hard. And now all of a sudden it's the Democrats. You don't want to claim them. You don't want anything to do with them because y'all toxic, like y'all Democratic governor, Gavin Newsom said. The leaders are turning their backs. No one wants to deal with it. Okay, putting this all in perspective, what he's trying to do, what Governor Gavin Newsom is attempting to do is rebrand everything. He's trying to get over the stigma that comes with being an extreme leftist. And he's trying to speak to not just his party, he's also trying to speak to Republicans and conservatives and most of the American people. But of course, MAGA is not buying it.
I just want to, nip something in the bud for our liberal friends out here. There is nobody on the right that believes for 1 second that Gavin Newsom is becoming more moderate, that he is aligning himself with the right at all, that he agrees with anything that we stand for. Like, nobody believes that. I have seen a few commentators on the left putting out there that they see all these MAGA people on the right that are falling for this, that are starting to see Gavin Newsom as one of the good guys and starting to relate to him. That's not a thing that is happening. We are mocking him for even thinking that this would be possible, especially with his ridiculously progressive, radical governance from the last few years. Like, California has been like the poster child for the most far left policies, which is why California has turned into an absolute dumpster fire that nobody wants to live in. So nobody's falling for it. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, if we lived in a world of delusion where, men could become women, women could become men, and Gavin Newsom could become a moderate, he has like 3 years before he could even start running for president because, we know that that's his goal. He has between now and then to actually get behind some of the things that he is saying. If he's saying that he thinks it's unfair for boys to compete in girls' sports, then he actually needs to pass laws and get behind laws that support that stance, which he's not going to do, not only because that's not what he stands for, as proven by his track record, but because his base, thanks to largely him, has become so radicalized that he knows if he signs on to something like that, you guys are going to show up and burn his house down. So he's nobody's falling for this. The conversations are fascinating, but no, Gavin Newsom is as far left progressive as he has ever been, and you guys can have him.
And there you have it. Okay, you guys can have Gavin Newsom because we are not checking for him. We're not looking for Gavin Newsom to save us, you all. Okay, conservatives will not choose Gavin Newsom as our king. Okay. No, seriously, we are not about to play with California Governor Gavin Newsom. And you know what? Even Democrats are at a place where they're done playing with Gavin Newsom. Okay, so just get over it, Gavin. You're not going to do anything. You tried 3 years. You're going to get dragged by JD Vance. And you should get dragged by JD Vance because you're just not it. And after what you did to California, hopefully the rest of the country knows not to vote for you and to put you in the position as the leader of the free world. We don't want that. And we don't want you. Reject it. But guys, this just feels so good because as Gavin Newsom goes on his rebranding tour to try to just revamp himself and to come back and paint himself as a strong leader just because he had a couple conversations with Donald Trump during the fires. Now he thinks that he's just in charge and he's going to do some things. Meanwhile, Democrats are hitting an all-time low in the polls. Check it out.
Woo, let's go Democrats. Hey, come on, Jasmine Crockett shit. Come on, AL Clueless. Let's go. 20% approval rating? Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see all this hoopla and all this bullshit that these Democrats are doing nowadays, you know it's all a farce. You know it's all fake. Baby, CNN just published their damn numbers. They went from 27% down to 20%. And y'all want to talk about Donald Trump? Baby, at least he's at 50%. Man, y'all got work to do. All these protesters y'all putting together, burning down Teslas, doing the electric slide outside the Tesla dealership, protesting, the shit ain't working. Again, 80-20. Democrats continue to keep 20% of the issues that 80% of America don't care about. We don't like it, but yet you keep adopting it. Keep on. Come on, Jasmine, give me some more ignorant bullshit out your mouth. AO Clueless and the Crypt Keeper, y'all keep on doing y'all rallies. Talking about the oligarchy. America ain't listening. And Dollar Tree Obama. American people, Bro, give it up. Hakeem Jeffries, take it back to the drawing board. Again, America's not listening. It would better suit you if you work with the president. Because clearly, he's whooping that task. But like they say, a hard head off behind. Democrats, we don't care about Signalgate. We don't care about your love of transgenderism. Boys playing women's sports. Again, clearly, you're not on the right side of history right now. See, the difference between Donald Trump, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail. Yes, you didn't believe him. Yes, some of y'all didn't even think he was going to be elected. But guess what? The American people sided with President Trump. But instead of coming up with type of policy or trying to get into the room, or trying to work with the president, you keep fighting him. And it only makes you look bad. I mean, for God's sakes, you're willing to shut down the government. Your hypocrisy is showing through. You can't call for the resignation of Pete Hegseth when you did nothing about Lloyd Austin. Make it make sense. But I ain't doing the gospel shit. You ain't hear that from me. I ain't trying to help you neither. 20%, y'all? Damn. But hell ain't my party. Why should I give a shit? Now, damn sure not trying to help you either. Get it together. Or don't.
And guess what? We're heavy on the or don't. Because all you're going to do is continue to play yourself. This man said it. Shout out to Ty Turner 2471 because all you're doing is making yourself the poster child of everything we don't want to see in America. We don't want to see your radicalism. You are starting to now reflect the numbers that you really represent, meaning people are now starting to observe that you all really are a little out of your mind. And the American people as a whole knew this. Even some of the people that voted for Kamala Harris are now seeing like, do I really agree with them burning Tesla dealerships down? Am I really okay with how they're treating women and how they're going hard for men and women's sports? They're starting to lean more conservatives, as they should. But you know what, you all? Let me know what you all think in the comments because I think this is the beginning of the end. And I'm so excited for this because I truly believe that the end is near for the Democratic Party. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is it the beginning of the end? Are we getting closer? Are we getting further? Because from what I'm seeing, they are jagging. They really are playing themselves. And I'm so here for it. We're here for it. All right, guys, speak to me in the comments. Say what's up if you're from Threads. That's our people. Shout out to our Threads audience because you guys always show up for us when those radical, very radical leftists start to act up. Okay, so come over on Threads. We are getting it popping over there. We hang out, we kick it, we always got something to say, and we definitely be coming through when those leftists try to gang up on our people. So say hello in the comments if you're from over there. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, and everything, and we will be seeing you later. Bye.